What's up, everybody? I'm here with another video. This is going to be my top books of 2025. I have 11 books here. I only picked 5-star books, so these are the ones that I considered perfect. They're subjective with anything that I post, but yeah. There's a few on here that I'm very surprised that I put on here. I do have one more thing at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. And it's just basically my resolutions for what I want to read next year, or this year, 2026. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. I try to get this done pretty quick. Yeah, like I said, I got 11 books here. There are like 4 in the same series, but I think the series is worth talking about. So yeah. All right, my latest book that I finished, other than like one, and I gave it 5 stars. This is 12 Screams of Christmas by R.L. Stine and the Goosebumps Most Wanted series. This book was fantastic. The beginning was bleak, very sad. It plays with your heartstrings a little bit, even when the girl that passes away at the beginning of the book, she almost gets saved, and then the rope breaks when she falls into the well. Thought that was pretty good. The middle portion is kind of meandering, but not terrible. It's still cozy and fun. The ending is where this book is actually perfect, except there's like one scene that I think what the somebody says is not correct. But yeah, the Father Christmas scene is excellent, top tier. Yeah, this was good. This is actually a reread, and there's quite a few rereads in this selection here. But yeah, 12 Screams of Christmas is probably one of my favorite Christmassy Goosebumps books. I did like the very last installment of the Tales to Give You Goosebumps. I haven't reread that yet, so God willing, I'll get to that one too. But yeah, 12 Screams of Christmas, 5 stars, which all of these are 5 stars. I didn't include 5 stars because a couple years ago I did this and I forgot one of the books and it was a 5 star, but I included 4 stars and I just felt really wrong about it. So yeah. All right. Next up, Spooksville number 7, The Dark Corner. This is where the kids they end up going to hell to save this kid, and it's like a version of hell, and they end up going to this like court hearing thing, and they're judged by all their sins and stuff. It's pretty dark for a children's book, but this is fun. This isn't my favorite of Spooksville series, but it's still a 5 star read. Spooksville is the series that I'm talking about on here that is going to pop up quite a few times. I think I got like 4 books in the series that I just absolutely loved. So yeah, The Dark Corner, 5 stars, very fun book. Yeah. Next up is another reread. This is Stay Out of the Basement. This is my first edition, first printing copy. This is awesome. Basically, these kids have this dad that is got laid off of his job. He stays in his basement all the time. He's very rude to them, and they sneak down to the basement and they discover what he's making. And one thing in this book that I'll just hopefully will always remember is the tomato faced plant thing at the bottom of the basement. Thought that was great. Very fun visuals in this. Very scary. The next book, yet another reread, is one that I'm kind of hypocritical on because in the my worst book series or worst books of 2025, I had where there was a book that was just mean spirited for no reason. This one was too, and this is Horrors of the Black Ring, but in a very fun way. This girl gets a ring, she puts it on. Before she does that, this teacher is wearing this ring, and they're having this carnival that is supposedly supposed to be doomed. And this teacher walks through, and the lights start flickering. The ground starts shaking. It's very cool. Um, the teacher ends up getting like arrested and sent off, and this ring falls off of her. She gives it to this girl. She wears it, and she starts just being mean. At this carnival, also there is this boiling a dunk tank of water. It's crazy. There's this girl that rips off the this bicycle. She rips it off with her bare hand, like rips it apart with her bare hands. Yeah, this was way better than what I thought of when I first read this book, and I absolutely loved it. It's basically the Haunted Mask, but more violent. Speaking of which, the Haunted Mask, and all of these are rereads as well. Um, there's not much to say about the Haunted Mask. This is top tier Goosebumps. If you ask anybody that's ever read Goosebumps, this is probably their favorite. Either this or like Night of the Living Dummy or something. But the Haunted Mask is awesome. Very cool book. This girl is bullied getting scared. She finds this mask at this novelty shop. She puts it on. It becomes stuck to her face, and she becomes this thing. Very simple premise. Very awesome book. Not much to say about this. 5 stars. The only thing that I'd complain about this is I knew where this book was going. There wasn't much that I didn't remember about this book. I think there was like one scene in a science lab that I didn't remember as a kid. But yeah, Haunted Mask is top tier. Excellent. The Witch's Gift. This book, I mostly remember this troll named Belfart, who is hilarious. Very awesome book. These kids end up sneaking off to the witch's castle. They find these necklaces, and they give them powers. And the necklaces, like, contribute to one of the things that the kids, like, are lacking, kind of. Like, there's a strength, a wisdom one, immortality, and different things like that. And Sally doesn't want to die, so she wears that one. I'm not going to go through every one. I did a full review on this, so if you guys want to check that out, feel free. This one was awesome. Yeah, Belfart was very hilarious. There's actually scary scenes where these trolls are throwing things, or that might have been in the other book, but the trolls are pretty scary in here. So yeah, very awesome book. There's spiders in here, I know, like giant spiders, and some other things. I know that the trolls are in here because Belfart, but yeah, whatever. This one was very awesome. 5 stars as well, you know, yeah. The Cold People. This is the same series again. These kids end up finding these frozen blocks of these people, and they unfreeze them to take off running. And before this, they notice that the place is getting really cold in the middle of the summer, and these people start freezing things and kidnapping people out of their houses. One of the kids go and ask Bum, the resident drunk guy, and ask him, hey, you know what's going on? And what are these things? And he calls them Cairo creatures. He gives a very long, elaborate description of what these things are. And I'm not even going to try to attempt it right now at what these guys are because it's very confusing. I had to reread that part when I did a review on this. But very awesome. The kids get flamethrowers and battle them back. It's very cool. This one's kind of the opposite of the one where they go to hell, or the version of hell. Because this one, they got cold people, they use fire, and then the demon monster things, they use something cold. I can't remember right offhand, but they do something that's cold. I have to look back, but yeah, the Cold People, awesome. Aliens in the Sky. This, shout out to Spongy. This is the one where he says this is where the series gets really good. I kind of disagree because it is good. It's a very good book. Again, 5 stars. But I think that this series gets good a little bit before this one. That's just my opinion. These kids end up sneaking off to a reservoir, and they see these aliens, and the aliens kidnap Watch and Adam, and then Sally and Cindy, they stay behind, and they end up ambushing these aliens and stealing their spaceship. Sally drives a spaceship, which is awesome. We meet Equil 12, which is the alien here. They are wearing clothes in the book, so that's cool. But yeah. This one's very fun. I love this one. The aliens were actually kind of scary. Equil was a very fun and sweet character in here. Very awesome. And the next one is The Haunted Cave. In my opinion, this is where the series actually gets good. But I don't think the series was ever bad. I recently read my least favorite one, and that was The Little People. And it wasn't even terrible. It was just kind of, you know, in the middle of the road for me. But the first 2 books in the series were good for what they were, and then this one I thought was perfect. These kids are trying to figure out what the missing link between humans and like apes are, and they hear these stories about this thing that's in the cave, and they sneak off to go up there, and they get trapped inside, and I think Watch stays behind, and they run into this monster thing that they hear about, and it turns out to be a Hyeet, which is basically like a Bigfoot. And yeah, towards the end of this book, the Hyeet does something that's really cool and sweet. Again, very nice monster in this, kind of a mild spoiler, but yeah, he's really fun. This book was awesome. I love this one. Easily one of my favorites too. Probably not my favorite now. Looking back, I think I know what my favorite is. It's kind of between this one and another one. But yeah, Spooksville. Definitely a must-read series. You guys got to try it. Next one is no surprise. If you look at my username, you'll know. I reread The Girl Who Cried Monster. This girl loves telling scary stories, and she ends up running into a real monster. And she loves scaring her brother with monster stories. She runs into this guy named Mr. Mortman. If you guys look at my username, my name is Mr. Mortman's Library on YouTube and Instagram and all that. And yeah, this monster here is dark. He's scary. It's really gross. He eats turtles and snails and all that fun stuff. The library setting is perfect. I love it. This guy is just written so creepily. And yeah, The Girl Who Cried Monster holds up. And shout out to my fiance for getting me this beautiful hardcover edition, and also for discussing this book with me, because I was thinking if this was my favorite that I've reread out of all of them. There's one other one that I'm kind of hit and miss on, based on like, do I like this better than the other one? And I kind of was thinking the other one, and then she kind of mentioned like, well, she like that kind of makes sense if you think about it, and she kind of ran through the ending with me, and I was like, you know what, it kind of does. So this is my top Goosebumps book. Blame her, not me. Just kidding, but yeah, The Girl Who Cried Monster is a awesome book. Very scary, very dark, very creepy. I love this one. It's one of my favorites, even from being a child. This has been my favorite, so this is probably my favorite so far that I've read. But yeah, The Girl Who Cried Monster, excellent book. Last but not least, well, it might be least in some of your guys' view, because this is a book that I did not expect, even a book out of the series, to be on one of these lists. Last year it actually made it, but one of the books in the series did, but it was a 4 stars. This is a 5-star, and this is a Shivers book. This is A Ghostly Playmate. There's something that happens in this book that I never thought I'd read about at all, and much less in a kid's book. So there's this girl that moves into this new house. She ends up seeing this little ghost, and it goes into a closet. She goes into the closet, opens the door, and she sees something in the top of the closet, and it's absolutely terrifying. This ghost wants her to become one of her, and so like she basically wants to kill her, so she'll have a friend forever. And this girl, of course, doesn't want to do this, and this ghost has like a true form. There's a scientist dad that is trying to invent something that we don't know about until the end. And when we find out what it is, it makes sense. There is another sense of loss in this book because something happens to the family. And yeah, this book's awesome. Plays with your heartstrings a little bit. I know this is just a children's book, but this was good. This was very dark, very surprising. The imagery for this ghost girl turning into her true form was absolutely terrifying. And yeah, this would have gave me nightmares if I read this as a kid. And I don't even actually recommend this to a kid. I would recommend, maybe 13 and up or something. I mean, this is very creepy. Very scary book for this type of book. But yeah, I think that's it for me, guys. That is my top. That was 11 books. 11 5-star read books for me. I think I read 56 books this year. 55 or something like that. Matter of fact, there was one book it didn't count on Goodreads for some reason. I think it was The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena, maybe. It didn't count it as a number, so I think I read more than that. Either way, regardless, I didn't make it to my goal. My goal was 77, and I just didn't make it. But yeah, with that being said, I do have a list of books that I do want to read. And I just have like little notes that I want to do for next year. And I did 7 of them. So next year, hopefully at this time, if I remember, I'm going to come back and look and see how far I got. So the first thing I want to do is I want to finish the Fear Street series, the original Fear Street series of my first read through. There is like 4 books that I haven't read yet, and it's The New Girl, Who Killed the Homecoming Queen, The Stepsister 2, which I'm actually currently reading now, and the Fear Hall: The Conclusion. I think that's the 4 that I need to read. I want to finish those. And yeah, number 2 is finish Fear Street Seniors. I need 2 more books to read of those, and I keep putting them on my TBR and just never touching them. So hopefully I'm going to try to do something a little different this year with my TBRs, because I kind of packed myself down, and I'm going to try to probably go back to traditional 7 books for me. I did 7 when I first started this like TBR stuff, so I do 17 now, and I don't read anywhere near 17 books a month. So there's that. I want to finish the Fear Street Seniors. Spooksville, I want to get to number 14, and that's just a even goal for me. I'm on number 9, I think. Yeah, this will be the 9th book, And yeah, I just want to get to number 14. That's half of the series. There's only 23 books, I think, 23 or 24. And yeah, that'll be exactly half. So really want to get there. And I think that's a good, kind of thing to try. Now, Give Yourself Goosebumps, I put 25. I want to read, on my playlist, I've read 22 so far. That's only 3 more books. There's only 3 more books this year for the Give Yourself Goosebumps series. The Give Yourself Goosebumps series is kind of weird. I do enjoy reading them most times, but there are certain times that I just don't. I mean, especially if they're not fun and they're more like chores. I don't enjoy reading them that much, but I still want to. I want to knock them out, want to finish them, want to rank them, all the fun stuff. So my goal is to just do 25. The original Goosebumps, I put 31. I've read 21 so far, so only 10 books. Just read 10 more original Goosebumps books. And yeah, and I really want to start the Fear Street Saga series. That's my number 6. And yeah, I really want to do that after I finish Fear Street Seniors. I plan on doing the Fear Street Saga trilogy. I know it's jumping ahead, and then I want to do the sagas. That's just me. That's just how I want to do it. And yeah. And last but not least, I want to read. There's 2 books from Christopher Pike that I really want to read, and that is Die Softly and Monster. I've heard good things about both of those. One I've heard is absolutely crazy. I really want to knock it out. It's over here somewhere. I didn't pull it off before I started doing this video. But yeah, that's yeah. And I just, maybe next year, hopefully, I'll be able to look back at this and say, hey, I got to 31 on Goosebumps. I finished Fear Street, and I just want to see what kind of progress I made. And yeah, I think that's it for me, guys. Please let me know in the comments below what you think about my best books of the year. Do you disagree? More than likely you did, especially with a Shivers book on here. Yeah, I know Spongy, he's probably going to tell me The Haunted Cave isn't a great book, I'm assuming. But yeah, I think he told me that one's pretty good, though. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.